across the quiet fields where the snow begins to fall. A silent question echoes down each and every hall. From the Atlantic shore to the Pacific's wide embrace, we look into the distance, searching every space. Maple trees stand watching in colors red and gold, for little hands to hold on to, for stories to be told. Where are all the children in Canada tonight? Underneath the northern lights, hidden from our sight, we keep a candle burning, a constant, faithful glow, hoping that they feel the love where the cold winds blow. Be safe, little one, wherever you may be. The heroes that you need are hoping to set you free. We trace the river valleys, we climb the mountains high, sending up a whisper to the vast and endless sky. A drawing left unfinished, a favorite teddy bear, gentle reminder stared, hanging in the air. A parent's heart is aching, refusing to give in, praying for the day when the searching finally ends and they can hold them again. Where are all the children in Canada tonight? Underneath the northern lights, hidden from our sight, we keep a candle burning, a constant, faithful glow, hoping that they feel the love where the cold winds blow. Be safe, little one, wherever you may be. The heroes that you need are hoping to set you free. Does the silence feel too heavy? Do the shadows look too deep? Remember all the promises the family meant to keep. We are looking, we are trying, across this spacious land. We need strong hands to help us. We need everyone to stand. Where are all the children in Canada tonight? Underneath the northern lights, hidden from our side, we keep a candle burning, a constant, faithful glow, hoping that they feel the love where the cold winds blow. Be safe, little one, wherever you may be. The heroes that you need are coming, waiting to set you free. To the parents waiting by the phone, you are not in this alone. Bring them home, bring them home. Let our heroes rise. His grandma was watching him boots planted. Creek searched, no neighborhood were checked. No cameras were looked at. No geofencing used. His grandma just turned around for 18 seconds and then little Dylan went poof. Truro police looked for 6 days. Why weren't the planted boots checked for fingerprints? Or even DNA? Dylan's mom don't speak to her mom anymore. Was it traffickers? Or did neglected to check all avenues because they choose to check the easiest thing was the body of water? He is still missing. Does he wonder if his family is looking? Does he still remember his daddy's voice? Does he cry at night when it's dark and scary? Why cannot Canada do better by the children? They need heroes to come along and bring this children back. They need their parents to hold them tight. Stand up, Truro. And the RCMP, throw those guilty, sick members of your offices and government out the damn door. Our children need a hero. Let it be you!
Welcome in, everybody. Yes, that's a very hard song to listen to without feeling very emotional, isn't it, Marie? That's song. Good to see you too, DJ Autistic Honey. Good to see everybody. It is powerful. Miss Donna, our moderator, created that song. So how lovely of her. So happy New Year to some of you I didn't see yesterday. Just so you know, this is going to be the standard daily live time for me going forward. It seems to be a better time for me and for you, a lot of you. So this will be the standard time going forward. And if you missed yesterday's live, towards the end of it, I'm going to recapture it. I don't mean to contradict what I've just said, but I've said yesterday with the new year, yes, thanks to Sweet Donna. She's not in the chat here right now. She's not been feeling super great. But I think Krista. Is Krista in here, honey? Are you in here, Krista? I think you were in here. I didn't say hi to anybody yet. I was showing your... Yeah, Krista's here. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. I was supposed to go to Jim's. My buddy's got my car, and he's supposed to finish working on it today. And I woke up at 2:00 in the morning. I texted him. I'm like, no, my cold is in my lungs. And I thank you, honey. I am not coming today. I'm not sitting in your apartment basement, even though it's, partially heated, freezing my ass off because I got the cold and the flu. So here we are again. And I wanted to talk about yesterday's live if you missed it. I had just finished saying I'm going to do my psychic stuff on the other channel because not everybody's into it. And then they come in here and they find out that I do. Hey, Carla, sweetie. Happy New Year, honey. Nice to see everybody. Marie, YouTuber, DJ Autistic. Everybody I said hi to. Marie, beautiful Rose. Annie, Anne Marie, nice to see you, honey. Krista, nice. Thanks for being here, honey bunny. It's okay, YouTuber. The family's been sick. My grandkids have been sick, and my grandson has a double ear infection. So it's just been, I know, honey, nice to see you. Sorry. Yeah. I tend to get bronchitis, so staying put today. I tend to get bronchitis, so staying put today. But anyways, let's get back to the topic. I want to stay focused. I'm going to recap yesterday's live for anybody that missed it. Even though I said I want to separate the psychic stuff, I can't control when spirit comes in. And I have validated that was Lilly that did come in yesterday. We're going to watch it and share what I have. Was up all night, when you're sick and you're not sleeping. And I was up all night trying to figure out the order of my visions. Because I've had 4 with this case. I've had 4. And yesterday, what Lilly said wasn't making sense with my vision. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. because I figured out, oh, goosebumps. I figured out the 4. No, I don't write them down because when they come in, Krista, um, like I said, I don't sit as a medium like most people do. Most trained psychics and mediums, and I've said this before, that I have learned this about myself just recently, that I'm an anomaly, a rare one, if you will, that gets hits that I don't ask for, and gets spirit coming to me with information that I don't deliberately sit down to try to collect. Like, I don't sit here and, "Hey, Lily, come to me." Although yesterday, if I wasn't so sick, I wanted to try that to see. But that's not generally how spirit works with me. And it's called investigative mediumship, where spirit comes in. And in yesterday's live, I was talking about, we're going to recap it in a bit here, about Daniel and the meth when Lily came in. And I have to be honest, I was surprised. I thought maybe it was Summer, because Summer came in a few before the holidays, and it's the little voice sounded so similar to Summer. And then I started wondering, when I said it was Summer that came in before the holidays, was it Lily and Retha? And I just thought it was Summer because the voice was so similar. So basically, I'm going to reiterate, we're going to go through that in a little bit, but I want to update us on other cases first. Yeah, honey. Yeah, how am I doing today? And now yesterday you had the vision of Lily yesterday. Well, so it wasn't a vision. She came in. So I'm a psychic and a medium, and I channel. And what's super interesting, I wish Kitty was here because I had said this to Kitty. When I got injured, um, no, I'm gonna answer it, honey. I'm gonna answer it, Carla. Yeah, yeah. So no, it was Lily. It was Lily yesterday, and we're gonna play that back, honey, if you're still around. Um, it was Lily. It definitely was Lily. I've confirmed that now. But spirit works in mysterious ways. So I have said this before. I have been volunteering as a psychic medium with the Find Me group since 2018. And hey, Cindy, honey. And I passed that test to get into the psychic group. I was given 3 pictures of cases that we worked on, and I gave an 80% accurate detail just from pictures. Now, I want to explain, because of all the trauma and the stress with my dad, and if you're new here, you will have not heard me say this recently, but I've said it since starting this channel. I started this channel essentially with Sebastian Rogers. Hello, Betty Knight. Happy New Year, honey. And I was using tarot because I wasn't getting as many downloads and mediumship communication that I normally get. And that's because of the stress with my dad. And so I was talking about when I was working with Amazon and I hurt my neck. And so, okay, honey. Hey, Trees. Nice to see you, honey. I was talking about with my neck how spirit works in incredible ways when I was working with Indigo, and they put me on the morning shift despite telling me they were hiring me for sales, and I hurt my neck and I had to go on muscle relaxants. And I was telling everybody that muscle relaxants and pain meds from when I hurt my neck. And Kitty was saying, "Man, you have bad luck." And I was like, "Yeah, but spirit works in incredible ways, right?" It's hard to channel when I have TMJ, lockjaw, from the stress of my dad, right? So pretty hard when your whole jaw and your ears are all tight to receive messages. So this happened, right? And I said, spirit works in interesting ways. I'm wondering if I'm going to start to get more mediumship messages coming in like I used to, because I've got these my whole life, but they had reduced in numbers and consistency with the stress of my dad, because it's very, very hard to channel, in my opinion, when you're stressed out. Insurance. We don't have insurance in Canada for that stuff, honey. So anyway, all that to say, these did the job. And I didn't say anything yesterday, but over the holidays, my ears started like when you're psychic and you're getting channeling, you can hear buzzing in your ears sometimes as that starts to like your ear starts to open up. So if you ever get buzzing in your ear, just know you might be getting ready to really? Wow, okay. Interesting. I don't have insurance though. But anyways, so over the holidays, my ears started to pop and I could feel the canals opening up. So all that to say, don't be surprised. I'm expecting it now for me to get many more channeling sessions again like I used to. Okay, honey. I don't have dental insurance either, Cindy. So I have a hole in my back tooth when I was with my dad 6 years ago in Florida. Honey, I was in Ottawa. I was in hey, you. No, you made it to live. You're gonna want to hear this, Miss Q, too. Wendy, nice to see you, honey. I'm now I was in Ottawa and I just moved over into Gatineau. Happy New Year. Hey, nice to see you, Faye. Nice to see you. Just moved into Gatineau, just across the water from downtown Ottawa, but I'm in the base of the mountains. Hey, Sammy, nice to see you. Nice to see you. And closer to my older daughter, where we're going to be building my little tiny cabin. She's up in the mountains, like 25 minutes north, like way, like very, very scary snow. You live in Alberta? Okay, honey. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to get into that in a little bit because you get a lot of yes, yeah. Well, just Krista, when you start to get it, start to cultivate it. So you want to ask for spirit to start to communicate through clairaudience with you, and you want to do like chakra clearing exercises to clear it out. So Lilly came in yesterday. I'll start replaying that, and then we're going to go to the updates on the other cases, and I'll play that for you all now so you can see it real time if you missed it yesterday, because I had just finished literally saying yesterday, I'm going to do the you get the ringing in your ears too? Yeah. Yeah, so that's the start of you being able to hear clairvoyantly, so you wanna work on that, okay? Um, hey, Miss Q, so nice to see you, honey. So yesterday, I just finished saying I'm gonna separate the channels because I don't blame people that come in and they see a live and they don't realize that I also do psychic stuff, and then it pops up and they're like, "I'm out of here. I'm not into this," right? You wackadoodle. Trust me, I get the messages. But I can't control because I'm a different kind of medium. I don't sit like most mediums and wait for spirit to come in. They just come when they have something important to say. And so when they come in, I listen because they're coming in with a message. And that's what happened yesterday in the live. So let's listen to this. And then I'm going to tell you what I figured out, because yesterday I was like, I got goosebumps. I don't know if Lily's coming back in. I'll tell you. Um, Yesterday, I said her coming in and what she's saying is not necessarily making sense to me because of the other visions. But then I was up and tossing all night, couldn't sleep, and in the middle of the night and hacking a lung up and everything else. And I was like, I get it. And then I validated this morning with my pendulum, because and this only works if you truly don't have I know, honey. I know. Thank you, honey. It's hard. It's hard. It's definitely hard, not gonna lie. And yesterday was already a hard day for me. If you hadn't noticed, I was pretty angry over what happened to my dad, and I've started to just Bob. Yeah, Bob. I started to over the holidays, I made the decision. I chose to let go of my anger about what happened to my dad and so now I'm into the grieving piece, I guess. And so yesterday was very emotional for me. keep cutting in and out. Oh, I don't know. Is it buffering for anybody else? So let's listen. It's only going to take a couple of minutes here. We'll listen to yesterday's live, and then I'm going to piece together and remind everybody. It's not buffering for you. Okay, honey. Yeah, so okay, so it must be just you, Autistic DJ. I know, honey. Okay, good. I'll play it for you yesterday, and if you're not into this stuff, fast forward, because that's all I'm going to talk about with Jack and Lilly today. Being too sick, I didn't want to go back to the very, very beginning of the case, but we're gonna, if I'm well enough, I'm gonna start that tomorrow. But I wanted to deal with this first because it's important. Yeah, and it takes time, right? These things take time to develop, Carla. Okay, so let's listen into what happened yesterday. We were going through It's a Criming Shame, and Sunny had Haley in, which is Malaya's stepsister, and Haley's been the one in the video cameras, in the search parties and whatnot. And she was clarifying some of the texts that she got from Haley. Without getting into too much drama, Haley sent her some texts back in October, I think it was, private texts not meant to be shared. And Sunny sent them to another channel creator who shared them. And now Sunny felt like poopy that she sent them to somebody she trusted not to share, and he went and exposed them live. So she brought Haley in, playing her clips to speak to, the authenticity of the clips that Haley sent Sunny in private, months ago. So we were going through those, listening to Haley, and we were talking about the fact that Daniel, I know, honey, me too. So that's why it's like, I don't even want to get into it. I'm just explaining for context. We were talking about Daniel and his math habit that he has admitted to us he has. And I was just saying, with the math being known to create violent episodes, it can certainly create, violent tendencies, which we're learning more about, or at least I am, and I've talked about here with this Rob Reiner case. Could it be, hey, Faye, nice to see you too, honey. Could it be that Daniel's inconsistent stories are because he really doesn't actually remember what happened the night before if he was on math, and hence the inconsistent stories? And if you factor in that with what I believe to be, in fact, what I believe to be a narcissistic behavior, how you could interpret how he could rather pass a lie detector test. Because again, in listening to experts talk about this with Rob Reiner's case and other cases, if you're narcissistic, oh, sweetie, no, I don't have it on speed. Check your speed. And it's just two of you saying you're buffering. Also, if you're checking it, there's two streams. There's cell phone stream and a desktop stream. So try the other stream. So anyways, let's listen in, because I was explaining that, and suddenly, let's listen to that. And then Lily came in. Let's listen to that.
And started talking about that. Then, yeah, the dots all connected. And
thank you, honey, Marie.
The bathroom scenario there, yeah, I strongly believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. Haley strongly believes that Daniel was doing meth the night before. I want to talk about this for a second. Carla says, I know a few math addicts myself, and trust me, they're really good people, but when they get high on this stuff, they become totally different people, don't care about anything in the world. Yes, exactly. And that's why we've talked about it quite a bit recently with the Rob Reiner story and whatnot, Carla, because I think it's also potentially one of the reasons that Daniel's storyline is inconsistent, because meth has been known to change the way your brain functions, clearly. And it can become, people can and are known to become quite violent on meth. And their memory and accuracy of the night before, I mean, if he was mathed up, he wouldn't remember a damn thing from the night before. And maybe he did something that he doesn't even recall, you know? If he's that consistent a math head, then that could be why his story is inconsistent, because maybe he was too mathed up to even remember. Maybe Daniel actually did something that he doesn't legitimately remember. And if he's a narcissist, which I believe he is, on top of that, that could explain the passing of a polygraph. Now you factor in that there were only questions about the unaliving of the kids on the polygraph. You add the math factor where he might not remember a thing of what he did. And
Good,
hence the
congratulations.
different storylines and getting caught in all these lies and the potential for something abusive to have happened is absolutely, wow, okay, I'm spinning. I don't know who's coming in. Sorry, everybody. Woo. Somebody's coming in. I got goosebumps. Ooh, who's here? Sorry, everybody. Woo. I'm not going to say what I just heard. I'm not going to say what I just heard. Sorry. Honest to God, I just heard it's Lily. It's me, Lily. Shit. Ooh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. I just heard it's me, Lily. God, no. No, no, no. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then he went and did math and then doesn't remember anything. If that's Lily, if they're Lily, I think Lily's here. God, no, because that means she's crossed over. I don't want that to be the case.
Yeah, it was yesterday, Cindy. I'm just explaining to you.
Sorry, everybody.
I want to replay this for those that missed it and then explain to you my 4 visions and what I believe I've pieced together as the timeline to these visions and the order that they go in. So I'm just recapping for anybody that missed it. And Krista, I don't carry a pen and a paper with me, which I should, because again, they come in unexpectedly. It makes it a little harder than when you're sitting down and planning on receiving messages, right?
Let me just focus. Let me just focus, please.
So I'll come back on in a second. That's okay, honey. Sorry, sorry, Cindy. I didn't know I was muted.
Lily's showing me Daniel strangling Jackie to death. Sorry, everybody. Ooh, I did not expect this. I don't know if that's Lily, if it's
True, I'm gonna have to sit with the energy because so for those just coming in, I'm just recapping what happened towards the end of yesterday's live when Lilly came in unexpectedly. I have confirmed since then what she told me, and I'm gonna continue to play this for 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna talk about my 4 visions, downloads, if you will, and the order that I believe. Hey, Donna, how you doing today, honey? And the order that I believe they came in. So just gonna replay what happened yesterday on yesterday's live here for those just coming in. Ugh, fuck. She's showing me them like screaming and him just losing his shit over the screaming and just shaking. That's what she's showing me. Okay, let's continue on. I will I'm just going to talk to Lilly for a second and see if she'll come back at a better time. Okay. So yesterday's live, that's what happened. Very unexpectedly. And I wasn't sure because it wasn't making sense. So I've now put them in order to what I think has happened. I've had 2 main visions, 4 in total now. Well, not visions, communications. 2 visions and 3 visions and yesterday's communication with Lilly. So you'll recall my first vision. They're not in order. They're not in order. This is what I was confused about. My very first vision I talked about was in seeing them being walked away by somebody that was taking them to Uncle Larry's barn, who I assume to be Jordan Geddes, just in my opinion. I also said a lot of things which you can go back and watch. Holy shit, I think I found the barn or Uncle Larry because I pieced it all together in that video. And then I was on a live when a little child came in with a British accent and then showed me a scene of Brad Wong, which I didn't know was Brad Wong. For those of you that were live will recall me describing him as Harry, like Prince Harry, but bigger and potentially, a little bigger. And sure enough, when I see a picture of Brad Wong, the same day on DT's channel, I saw my first picture of Jordan Geddes. I'm like, oh my God, that was an explosive day for me because the Brad Wong and how he's related to this case is very curious still. But okay, so those are the 2 visions. Then I said I was dreaming and I was given just a brief snapshot and I could hear a woman's voice going in saying, Lilly, wake up, Lilly. Actually, as I think about it, I'm not sure now if that's the first one or the third one. I'll explain to you why. But I think when I confirmed it this morning, it was earlier. But so what I think the order is, and I would so love validation for this, that Brad Wong did some work for Malaya on one of her cars or Daniel's cars, and they owed him money. And there's a history of some troubled neighborly stuff between them based on that, because in that vision, Brad Wong is jamming through the kitchen door, slamming it open, And I only just learned, I didn't even know the layout of the trailer, that when you open the door, you're in the kitchen, exactly as I described it. And I think that was way back. I'm not clear still, and this is how psychics work. We don't just get like, I would love nothing better than to just be told, this is what happened in one session, boom. But it's not how it works, regrettably. And I I'm still not sure of his involvement, other than there's potentially that vision that I was given was to show that there was fights ongoing between Brad and Jack and Lily's parents, stepdad Daniel and Malaya. I don't know, because there's nothing else other than his involvement with his bath mat and towel and a sweater, or everything but the bath mat being taken from his house and planted 2 months ago now. And other than him saying he heard somebody at the house, there's no really, but he is involved in the case. Like he's a key witness to the car, his bath mat. So there's a reason for my vision with him, but I don't think he's involved in the case as somebody who took the kids. I don't know yet the meaning of that vision, but I think that's the first one. And I would so love to get validation from the family that he worked on their car at one point, or helped them get a car or something, because they owed him money and he was pissed in this vision. So there's that, I believe, happened first. Okay. Then I think there was a woman that woke up the kids. I think there was a plan, and this is where I'm not so sure. Malaya, I didn't originally think, I don't think Malaya knows what happened to the kids. I don't believe she knows where they are, but I do think she has knowledge. And I told that to Mike Wilson of the RCMP at the very get-go, that she has guilty knowledge, in my opinion. I don't think it was Malaya that woke up Lilly, but I was given a vision in my dream of a woman leaning in, and I wish I could have seen her face, and whispering in to wake Lilly up quietly. So I think there was a plan, as I've said before, between the two Mr. Gettys, the father-son Gettys, and Mr. Daniel Martel, to remove the kids. Who was the female voice that came in to wake Lilly up? I'm not clear. It wasn't Janie's raspy voice. It didn't sound like Malaya. So I'm still unclear onto who the woman was that went to wake those kids up. But I believe that to be the order of coming in second. There was a plan to remove the kids. Listen, I don't really care what you think. But you're definitely not welcome here. Goodbye. That would have been the second order of that coming in, just from what I'm gathering now. There was a planned removal. And then we would go to what I believe was the young Mr. Gettys. I'm going to talk about that as an alternative option in a second, which I have thought about and I haven't introduced here yet, because I know it's not going to go over very well as a possible second theory, but I'm going to mention it anyway. I don't think it's there, but I have to mention it in a second. But I still, at this point, am more leaning towards it being Mr. Gettys and Mr. Jordan Gettys. And I think there was a plan for him. And in his rant, when he goes off and yells that we listened to, you can hear him talking about you and your friend and your problems with your wife and all that wifey shit. Like, he's mad. He's mad that he was asked to get involved. That's my opinion. We can go back and listen to that again. But he's talking to Mr. Martel and his dad, in my opinion, to shut your effing mouth, and you and your wife and your wifey problems. So I think he and his dad were asked to help Daniel remove the kids as a threat to Malaya. And I've said that from the get-go, to keep her quiet, because she was talking about CPS and the Matthews, the being violent, and that was not what the family wanted to get to public or to go to CPS. And there was a motive to remove the talker from talking crap about the family in a way they didn't like. And Derwood said it himself. He came out and said it. So we're not even stretching there. Leanne, I had a vision, as you know. That's you. Yeah. 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 I know, honey. And I'm now, okay, remember at the beginning, I said I thought they were hiding when the copters were flying around and that they were alive for a little bit. And I think the vision of Mr. Geddes to meet up somewhere with Mr. Daniel, potentially in the middle of the night when he was making all the runs. Oh, honey, thank you, honey. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. Always forget to unmute myself. I think there was a plan to remove the kids. And now, did Jack start to scream in the middle of that episode of trying to be quiet to remove the kids? Because yesterday what Lilly showed me was the kids screaming in hysterics, Daniel losing his shit, and Daniel to Jackie, okay, in the neck, like, shut up. And I'm thinking that's the last vision because of trying to quiet them up if they were in the process of removing those kids and trying to hide them, and now they're screaming. It would have had to happen after my vision of seeing the two walking away, right? It doesn't make sense otherwise. So do I know with 100% certainty? No. So Shady Grady said is part of your, yeah, so is part of your visions. Well, no, my visions came first, and then I pieced together all the things he said in that episode because I just had a vision of this man. I didn't know what Jordan Geddes looked like, Krista. And so the day I went live with that, holy shit, I think I found the barn, that was a wide open, wide awakening for me because I had described the man, right? I had described the vision, but I didn't know what he looked like. Now, here's what I want to thank you for bringing that up, because here's where I want to preface. I jumped to Jordan Geddes because when I asked Jackie, which is why Jack had to be alive at that point, because I was communicating with Jack in that vision as they were walking. He had to be alive at that point. And I asked Jack where they were being taken. What if Brad barged in after Daniel? It could be. It could be, honey. Do you want to come up and chat? You're welcome to. I said yesterday, no more kill labs, but you can come up if you want. It could be, Shannon. It could be later. I wish if you can find out from Brad, I would love to know, since you talk to them and I don't. Did he ever work on their cars? Did he help them get a car? Because I had that vision. I don't think he's involved in the case per se, but he's a witness, and his personal belongings ended up months later somewhere down the road. So there's some involvement that he has in this case. But it could be that he was pissed with them later. But this vision, like, I trust my visions, like I've said 100%. It's the interpretation. And Shannon, you're probably not going to like what I'm going to say. And I have to talk about all possibilities. Okay. When I saw the picture of Jordan Geddes on DT's live, the same day I saw the picture of Brad Wong, and I'm like, holy sugar. Those are the two men I've described in my visions. Holy sugar. it wasn't hard to make the leap, because the person that Jack was talking to that was walking them, I said to Jack, I asked him, who is this and where are they taking you? And he said, to Uncle Larry's barn. Now we find out there's a Lawrence Getty's barn, right? And Shannon, you were the one that said that you found one out maybe further out than the Black barn. And I'm going to say something that I know right now is not going to be well received. I have to, in doing an honest job for this case, we have to explore all options. And Miss Q, you will remember this, because I think Miss Q and Anne might be the only two people in this live that were there when we followed the Rust trial. And I say this for a reason, because when I lose it, it's almost like a subconscious feeling that I get that somebody is bullshitting me. And I don't effing like it. And my bullshit radar starts to scream. And if you remember the moment during Rust, and Miss Q, if you're still in here, when we were watching Rust, the trial of Alec Baldwin, and the prosecutor and the police officer were lying under oath. And yes, you remember Miss Q? And I went fucking nuts. I'm like, they're fucking lying. They're fucking lying. I know they're fucking lying. And rewatched it live 3 fucking hours later. The case got shut down because they got fucking caught for colluding and perjuring the lawyer and the cop in the middle of the trial. Okay, it was epic. Now I go back to and this again is not going to be popular, but what does Cody look like? Because do I ever that was that was epic. And I say that with a caveat, because Belinda really pissed me off when I first saw her. And I still don't think she's involved, but I have to say this. She pissed me off because I don't think she was being honest. And I'm going to say this, I'm not shooting shade at Sunny, but it was crazy. But I also said I thought Sunny was using the family members, and what did we cover yesterday? Sorry, but she owned it, and I'm proud of her for owning it. But she had a right, and she should have owned it, because she displayed a lack of judgment when she shared Haley's text to DT that she promised Haley would remain private. So when I tell you I pick up on shit, I'm not fucking making it up. I pick up when there's bullshit awry. When there's bullshit awry, my fucking bullshit meter goes like, right? And so, yeah. So all I'm saying is there's something Belinda has not been honest about, okay? Because of the way I responded when she was on Sunny's. I think I've cleared it up, but do we really know? Because I don't know what her son looks like. And I'd like to know if Cody has long, dark hair like Jordan Geddes does. Because again, I jumped to the conclusion in my, I trust your bullshit meter. Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, you have to have watched me enough to know when I go, like, when I feel I'm being lied to, it's like something in my body just goes, look, you fucking lying. You're fucking lying. And I get mad. And it's not that I'm saying everybody is deliberately lying. Yeah, I know, honey. I know. I chalked it up to when she said she didn't know where the kids lived, that to not be true. Okay. That's what I chalked it up to. And I went right to the narrative that because of what Jack said, Uncle Larry, so it was Jordan Geddes. But I have to just put out there, I don't know what Cody looks like. Does Cody have long black hair? Dark brown, almost black. Because there's something, Belinda, love you if you're watching, but there's something you have not been honest about. I get the same vibes with Seth Rogers. It doesn't mean I think Seth Rogers is responsible for Sebastian's disappearance, but there's some shit that Seth does that is not friggin' cool. And he doesn't explain it, you know? I came out and I said Dog the Bounty Hunter was going to do jack shit to solve Sebastian Rogers' case. And I got so much fucking flack. I got so much flack. He is ginger, kind of looks like Daniel with a beard. Okay, thank you. So that rules him out. Thank you for that. That rules him out. Thank you. Thank you for that. If he doesn't have dark hair, then it's got to go back to Geddes, which again was my original thought, you know? But I need to check everything. So, you know, that puts it back to Geddes then. Thank you. But the point being, when I get my bullshit meter on, it's proven to be true. Like I said, at night intelligence, sorry, okay, they're not a legit business, man. They're fucking not. Excuse me, they're not. Their rewards are bullshit. They might be helping Seth, but Seth's judgment of who to help him is out to lunch. And the fact that he put a blank Find Me group report in with no intel, what the TF, you know? There's something not right here. I said to you all, Seth's still in love with KP. No. Well, he came out on Sebastian's birthday, December 7th, the day before mine, just before Christmas, and didn't mean to say, Katie, dear, it slipped. He showed his true hand. It slipped. Seth Rogers is still in love with KP and cannot understand that she could do this. He's in denial, in my opinion. Hang on, I'll send it to you now. So, does that mean Seth's lying? Why is the letter D swarming me? What does that mean? So, I'm just saying, when I lose my stuff, I'm not normally wrong. My bullshit meter, sorry guys, is going off. And it's gone off. And I'm just telling you all the times it's gone off. Hey, Charmaine, honey, how are you? Do you want to come up and chat, honey? When it goes off, I'm not wrong. It's about figuring back. I know, honey. Yes. Yeah. Well, now that excuse me. Oh God. Now that Shannon has confirmed that he's doesn't have dark hair, then I can go back to my original thoughts and my theory. Yeah, so I think that Lilly wasn't lying, that was Lilly, and that Daniel shook little Jackie to death. And that's very interesting because if you're just coming in now, Charmaine and Shannon, you might want to go back to the beginning because Lilly came in unexpectedly at the end of yesterday's live and showed me, I started crying, not a very fun vision to get, of Daniel being frustrated and that night and shaking Jackie and shaking him and aliving him. She also said, which I forgot, which I have to confirm. Hang on. Sorry, everybody. Hang on. Let me blow my nose. Hang on. She also said they were buried in a barn. near a barn in the woods, in a barn, near a barn. She didn't say in a barn, near a barn. But I don't know yet if that's true, because, and I'll tell you this true, okay, from the little boy that I rescued out in Rockport, which I showed everybody, that didn't rescue, found his deceased body. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the divine, exactly. It's no different. It's no different than the police. You know, they get a little piece of evidence. Thank you, Cindy, honey. They get a little piece of evidence and then they have to connect it to, you know, to follow it up, just like the article we read yesterday. You know, they can't just piece it together. Well, the same things happens to psychics. We get a piece of information, and it's about trying to interpret the information and then putting it together in a way that makes sense. And that's all I'm trying to do here today with the 4 visions. Yesterday was very unexpected for me. But going back to Lilly, when we looked for the little missing boy that my guides took me to in Rockport, you can go and Google that. We looked at this on this channel. That case, September 1st in Rockport, Ontario, there was a little boy whose father was driving the boat and the boat capsized. They didn't have enough life jackets in the boat, and that St. Lawrence feeds into Lake Ontario and to the ocean. It's a massive waterway and it's incredibly dark, and there's underground caves. And the police agencies, there was OPP, Ottawa Police, there was military divers, the organized searchers looked for 2 weeks for his body and couldn't find him. And then we were asked to go and work on the case as psychics, and my guides took me right to his body. And it still took us 2 weeks after that, knowing the house he was in front of, because the water was so dark, and we were trying to get him to tell us. But when they're deceased like that, it's not as easy as you think. They can't just go, oh, I can, like, it took us 2 weeks to try to get his exact location. And we would go back and he would say, yeah, I saw the divers yesterday and I could see their fins, but they just missed me. So it's not as simple for them to, when they've crossed over, because what we're talking about, which I was born with, I've trained, but I was born with this crap, if you will. I say crap because it's not fun to have, and it's not fun to have when you can I've solved, one case and worked with the Find Me group, but it's not fun to have when you can't be useful with it to a point of being able to call the police without, being threatened that you're a lunatic, everything else that comes with it. But it took us 2 weeks to find that boy's body, because they don't know. They can't simply just say. What I do when I go back in time is which is what Zach the psychic does, the tranquil psychic who's been on this channel, in remote viewing, which I've trained with Lisa Williams with. You go back in the timeline and you're jumping into the scene, which is what I used to get as a child. Would be brought into it live, watching the murders and the whatever's happening live, and it was traumatic. So you're going back in time and viewing it, but the deceased little Lily can't do that. In fact, I'm not surprised she's just coming in now, because most people, when they cross over, my dad is actually really rare, and he's not coming in to see me lately because he's doing his, when they do their life review right now. But it's not typical for a spirit, especially a young one, to be able to come in and communicate. It takes a lot of energy for them, exactly, to be able to come in and communicate, which is why it's not surprising that I hadn't heard from either of them until recently, until yesterday. So to say, when she says they're near a barn and buried in the woods, what barn? I don't know. Hang on. What barn? I don't know. And is it close? It can't be close. It can't be close. It can't be the Black Barn. I don't know what the Black Barn, if they were held there for a while. I get the distinct feeling that there's a shovel there with evidence or some tool at that Black Barn that might have been used to conceal something. Maybe it's the rake. I don't really know. But the point is, I'm going to have to work on location because they can't be close by because the dogs would have picked it up unless they're way underground in a container of sorts. Or, like in Chris's Proudfoot's case with Sebastian, when he said, how many bags of cement does it take to bury a body? Blah, 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 Anders. Well, blah, blah, blah. If you don't like it, you can leave. So I'm just going to ban and delete you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bye-bye. So yeah, so that's, I do believe that now to be Lilly. I did validate that. And I do think that the vision of them being taken and we're hiding out, it also makes sense now that Daniel would have been in that vision, because if you recall, I told Mike Wilson that, and I said it on this channel multiple times, that I felt like the person was tracking like points when they were walking with the kids. And then we find that geocaching, right? Now, was that exactly what was used? No, but it shows. No, Shannon. My grandmother, my dad's mother, yes. My dad's mother, but not my sister, no. She's a low-life piece of shit. Sorry. She's got no talent other than stealing. Her talent. Using and stealing. But I don't want to get into a tangent, but I don't think I come from the soul family. Like, my mom hated me. I wasn't allowed to be held. Like, my mom and my sister are the same soul tribe. My dad and my dad's family and I are the same soul tribe. So it's not surprising that my sister and my mom's family would have nothing like that I have. It's my dad's mom, who's passed over now. Yeah, I know, honey. You've seen him standing there. Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, okay. So that's my explanation. Do I need to do more work on it? Yes. I do think now that my hearing is popping, my ears have been opening up, and not great with the cold, but once the cold's gone, which is also part of it, when you have a cold like that. No, I know, honey. I know. You're welcome to ask me anything. Had ginger, long, thin hair? No. In my original vision, Rachel, I describe, you can go back to it's here, the man with a thin body. I don't see his face. He's got long, dark hair, like probably as long as mine, dark brown, almost black, I describe. And he's a thin build, and he's wearing an off-white tank top and jeans that are kind of hanging low. And his tank top is dirty, and it looks like he's got coffee and smoke and whatever on it. And I just get that from a side vision. I don't get his face, which is so friggin' annoying, but that's what I get. The red ginger version was on the live when I get that vision of Brad Wong slamming through the kitchen door, and Malaya's in the kitchen, and he shows her an invoice of some money that I presume she and or both of them owe him. And I'm guessing it's for car work, but I would love to confirm that with Brad. That they maybe had him help them work on a car or get them a car or something in the past. That's what that was about. So, okay, so now we're going to go back to, so what I'm going to do, let me just finish this statement, and then we're going to go back to some other cases here. I'm going to start working on trying to, which I don't normally do, but I thought about yesterday, I'm going to try to, my baby's army, honey, we started an hour and 6 minutes ago. I'm going to see if I can auto write, if Lilly will come in if I auto write. I don't know. I'm going to see if that will happen. But again, I've said this before, I don't work like normal mediums. Most mediums sit and ask spirit to come in. They come in whether I want them to or not when they have something to say. And I don't sit and ask for it. I just don't work that way. Apparently, what I do is more rarer, which I didn't know. But it's information that is vital to the case. So if you'll notice some psychics, mediums, I'm not dishing anybody here. I'm just saying some talk in very broad, like I see a star, I see a sundial, I see this, I see that. I don't get those. I get, the barn, the names, the like locations, the specific details, not the generalities. And I wish I got a little bit more generalities, which is what I was using the tarot for, to fill in some of the gaps. I would love that, honey. I would love that. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. I would love that. So yeah, I don't have a car right now. My friend Jim is supposed to finish working on my car. It's sitting in his apartment. But I told him I'm not coming today because I'm too sick. I'm going to be watching Ryder, my daughter's dog, for a few days because both my daughters are heading to my ex-husband's in Muskoka for the week because I haven't seen him for the holidays. So I'll be hanging out here with Ryder and hopefully getting well and writing and getting ready for tomorrow's live. But when I should have my car back if you're not coming back anytime soon. I also have a girlfriend in Truro, and I'm planning on going down if we don't find them and staying with my girlfriend Shannon, who's from Truro, just went back and retired there to go look for these kids. I would like to get that started in the spring. So yeah, hopefully they're found before then. But I was sad yesterday because I go back to, I'm going to finish my statement and then I'm going to go back. My saying that there was a geo like points, I almost feel like there might have been some planning between Mr. DM and Mr. JG on take the kids and, meet me here. Because the person that was leading them, and this is what I told Mike Wilson, knew the whereabouts. They knew the lay of the land. They knew the markers in the forest. They were looking for it. And I said that specifically to him. And that's why when we found the geo marker, I was like blown away, not because I think the geo marker had anything to do in this case, but it goes to show with Daniel's name on it, how they, him and potentially Jordan, where that geo marker was found down by the river, know the lay of the land, right? They knew the lay of the land. They would have known in the middle of the night. Think about this. They would have known in the middle of the night how to navigate, because I told him in my very, very first phone call with him that I think that they were taken towards Lansdowne River and then backtracked along the pipeline towards where the blanket was found. This was May 8th. No idea there was a pipeline for legit. No idea there was a walkway and an opening. No idea the blanket was found. We had none of that then. So I'm not ruling out now that there was a plan between the two Gettys, the senior and the junior, to help Mr. Martell remove these kids. A female voice came and woke Lilly up. I don't know who that is, whether it was Malaya or not. I don't know. It doesn't make sense with that theory that they did it to threaten her. So I don't know about that. But I did hear a female voice leaning in, quietly waking Lilly up. Were they planning on removing them? And when they were hiding out with Daniel, I don't know how long it takes to come down off a meth high, but I suspect you don't come down right away. Did Daniel lose his shit in the middle of the night when Jackie started to scream? Hence what happened? Because I've said all along, there was a plan and something went wrong. And now that's what I'm getting from Lilly. There might have been a plan to remove them, and somebody started to scream. Yes, honey. It's illuminate with Leanne at gmail.com. You know, YouTube has got all the new updates, which we haven't really used all that much here, but you guys have done your boosts. Thank you so much when you boosted a live. And I haven't done it yet, but apparently I can reply to you on voice respond now instead of having, like, I can leave you a voice clip response. But apparently YouTube's saying, I heard this 6 months ago, I haven't seen it. They're going to roll out, I don't know if anybody else has heard it. They're going to roll out the ability for you all to put pictures and stuff like Facebook in the chat. And I'm hoping, Happy Turtle, nice to see you. You're welcome, honey. Thank you. I'm hoping that's they're going to bring that out, because that would be so much better if you guys could just say, hey, here's a picture, and tag it in a live, you know, or in a video. So anyways, that's what I think. Do I know 100% certain? No. I'm just, as the information comes in, I'm trying to wheel it, you know, together to make it fit. I'm trying to figure out the order. But I think Wong comes first, and that potentially was just to show that he's going to be significant in this case, that there's going to be a battle between them on him hearing and seeing a car. Then months later, his stuff shows up. What is that? What is that about? That's clearly somebody trying to frame him, you know? What's that about? Donald Trump. Oh God. You know, every time I allow a live stream to just let anybody talk without being a subscriber, we get like these kind of spammy stuff. So, Game Me, we're not talking about politics, so you've been removed. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Anyways, this is the theory now. Thank you, Shannon, for confirming, because I just had to say it with Belinda. I suspect that Belinda knew where the kids were, and she's kind of alluded to that when she first came out and said she didn't know where they were. She's kind of come back and said in Facebook that she tried to respect their wishes. So I think that's why I responded. I don't believe that she didn't know where they were. I think she chose not to, and she admitted to some guilt around that originally. And I'm not here to lay any more guilt, okay? Because I think this woman as a grandmother has suffered enough, and I'm not here to trash her. I'm just being very clear. But when I reacted that way to her, I think there was a misstatement there. And I think that's what it was. I said I thought maybe she was afraid of the family, but she's come out said since she was simply trying to respect the wishes that Daniel didn't want her near Jack and Lilly. So, please be careful not to spread something I didn't say, and that's why I wanted to clarify that again. Okay, so now we're going to be done with Jack and Lilly. I'm hoping to have time today, because after my hacking in the middle of the night, I actually feel better now, other than having a bit of a fever. I'm going to try to work back on tomorrow. I want to go back to the beginning with this case and see if there's anything that we missed. Sometimes looking at it, I'll go and check for your email now, honey. Sometimes looking at it again is helpful. Let me look for your email. Thank you, honey. I will. Uh-oh. Is that, okay. So who is that a picture of? Cindy, I got your picture, honey. Can I show that? And who is that a picture of? Is that Jay, or is that, because that's a close-up I haven't seen. Is that Jordan, or is that Cody that you sent me? Cody. Okay. So that's a distinct possibility. I'm going to redact what I said. Hey, Hope, because that's not a picture of him being ginger. Shannon, he doesn't look ginger in this. Okay, I'm going to download this so we don't see your private stuff, honey. Man, oh man. I don't know if his hair is longer. Oh, that's December 20. This is just recent. This is him just a few days ago. Oh my God. I don't know if his hair, I don't think she knew they were on Lansdowne. Okay. Okay, let me, Cody. He's a possibility too, now that you sent me this. He's a possibility too, except that they didn't say they were going to, is Cody a relative of Uncle Larry to the barn? No. So, it's also not quite as long as the hair I saw in my vision, but I don't know how long his hair might have been in May. So let's just upload it and see. Thank you for sending it. Yeah, Cody isn't ginger unless he dyed his hair. Oh, I thought you said he was ginger. Okay. Or Shannon said he was ginger. Look. So you all were here. Now, see, yeah, they're old. Okay, you just took it December 31st. Okay. I was going to say, I also think, okay, because you can see a longer strand here, right? You can see a longer strand here. Okay, let me blow my nose. Sorry, y'all. I have to take care of business here. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. No, I mean, I'm still leaning towards Jordan, but again, we have to look at all possibilities, just like we expect the police do. If we're going to be responsible here on true crime, we also have to do the same and not pick sides. It's about Jack and Lily's side, right? That's just my opinion. It's about Jack and Lily. So thank you for sending that, but Chelsea, I don't even know. See, I don't know the players, but so it looks like his hair is long, because remember I said long hair closer to my length, but I can see that it's actually longer here because there's a braided piece than what's showing by his collarbone. But that's not Cody, that's Chelsea's mom. That's not Cody. We're talking about the male here. That's a man. That's not a mom. That's a man. I don't know who this is. We're the person that sent the picture is saying that the man here is Cody. So who's Chelsea? No, that's Belinda's daughter, Chelsea. Thank you. I was going to say it doesn't look like a mom. So, an old enough mom to be a mom of an adult. Okay, so they're brother and sister is what you're saying. So, can you show me, Shannon, can you not see it, honey? So again, I'm still going to stick to my primary belief that it's JG, because I also described JG in my vision when that was the very first vision I had. I said that he was a slender build, which he is, because someone sent me a picture of him and his tattoos. Okay. But Cody's bigger than Jordan. Cody's a bigger frame than Jordan. And that was the other thing when I saw Jordan in that picture, when he went like a raving lunatic, he presented himself in he's slim, which is exactly what I said in my vision. This is not a big man. If this is Cody, he has changed a lot. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So, yeah, but in my vision, I specifically said, and you go back to my channel. It's okay, everybody. No worries. No worries. It's okay. It's all good. No worries. No need to apologize. I think we got it straight now. This is an older picture of Cody and his sister, Belinda Gray's kids. And he does have longer hair, so that could fit the vision I had. Although, you said, man, beautiful. Yeah. That is not Cody? Okay. Well, okay. Well, Cindy in the chat saying it's Cody. There's no way. You don't think that's Cody? Okay. Okay, so that's not Cody. So Cindy, I don't know where you got that, honey. But they're saying, and I don't want to be disrespectful to you. Okay. The photo did not come from me. Oh, okay. The photo did not come from you. Okay, got it. Okay, I don't know then. I have no idea what's going on. This photo is Shannon and Charmaine are saying is not Cody. And I'm going to trust them because they know more about this case by a lot about the details and the players than I do. So we're going to remove that. So I'm going back to my initial theory that it's JG. And his lunatic rant where I can hear your wife and he's talking to, sounds like Daniel, for involving him in his marital problems and all this crap he's running his mouth off with in that lunatic post. Okay. So listen, we're going to go back now to some other cases. If you're only here for Jack and Lily, we're going to catch up tomorrow at 11. Oh, okay. So now I'm getting it. Now I'm getting it. So 2 of you sent me an email at the same time. That was a man. I'm now getting the other picture. Sorry, everybody. If you're sending me a picture, it would be really nice if you told me. No, it's Chelsea's man. Was at one of the memorials. Sent an email. Went down with this live. Please go get back to me. Thank you, Purse, for all those babies. Okay, honey. Okay, so hang on. Now we can show just touch base. Let me just read this for a second. Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. So let me just download this and ask Shannon and ask you ladies to confirm if this is Cody. Because hang on, I gotta get my daughter's calling. Bear with me. Hey. Okay, sorry, my son-in-law's on his way with the dog. Okay. Is this Cody? Sweetie, that's okay. It's just somebody else sent me an email in the interim, and so I didn't know. Somebody else sent me a picture in the interim. So I with no explanation or anything. So is this Cody? Because then we can get it straight. Yes, thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. Okay, thank you. God almighty. Thank you. Okay. So now we can take him off the table because I hadn't seen any pictures of him and I didn't know. So thank you. So Cody's off the table. I'm back with my original theory. Thank you, ladies. So glad you're here to clear this up in the chat. I appreciate you both. I truly do. I love you both. I love both your channels. And I appreciate you being here and supporting this so we can make sure that we're not saying anything that's not truthful. Okay, so enough of that. We're going to go into now. We're going to go into now the other cases we've been following. I'm going to go back to the beginning and do some research, take some time. I got to write today, but also take some time to go back to the beginning for Jack and Lily starting tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to go back to the beginning. So if you're not here for the update on the other cases we've been following, thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Then you're not going to be interested, but I want to go into, we started covering, I'm going to cover, I briefly want to show you 2 clips from 2 other Canadian cases that just aired this morning or yesterday. I'm just going to show, whoops, I got the wrong one. How did that happen? How did that happen? Did I not get those? Well, no, I put the wrong clip in. Well, we're not going to get those today. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. But Camilla Mendoza, we have followed her. And regrettably, she has been confirmed. I had a hard time with this one. I was totally off on this one. I did not think she had unalived herself, but it has been confirmed that she has unalived herself, apparently. So we're just going to listen to this clip, and then we're going to get into the missing little boy, the 5-year-old Johnathan Everett Boley, who's missing. There was 2 cases today I wanted to talk about. One in Toronto, in Canada, which we can go through tomorrow if we want, where mom, similar to Melody Buzzard, except mom was a support social worker, and her autistic child, she was hiding inside the house, and neighbors said she didn't look distraught or anything, and they went to check into, because she had locked herself in the home, and they went to do a wellness check, and her autistic boy was dead inside. So presumably she's at the hospital. Presumably she's a suspect because she didn't call it in. She was boarded up inside the home. This is in Toronto, Canada. And their son was autistic. So we hear a lot of autistic children and stories, which I suspect has to do with their inability, the parents rather, to cope, of cases of autistic children, being lost or unalived. And the other case in Canada was a missing kid, teenager out west, who showed up deceased when they don't know the cause of death yet. So those are the 2 cases in Canada I was going to briefly report on. Was that in Barrie? No, Toronto. Toronto. If you want, I can try to pull it up. I had it earlier. I just let me pull it up and see if I can find it. I had it earlier this morning. Missing girl found in Vancouver. I'll show you this one first. Hang on, I'll show you this one first. It's just a quick clip. Let me just remove this. Hello, April. Nice to see you. Yeah, 10-year-old in the hospital. Yeah. I'll show you the one from the Vancouver. It's just a short clip. It's not a long clip. But I did say this year, I do want to cover more missing persons cases. This was a girl in Vancouver missing who's just been found deceased.
Vancouver teen who was reported missing on Monday was found dead here on Renfrew and Pender. Coroner services removed the body this afternoon. Neighbors told CTV News police knocked on their door around 12:30 a.m. saying a teen's phone was pinged to the area. VPD confirmed the teen was reported missing on Monday, and the disappearance was being investigated by the North Vancouver RCMP. VPD could not confirm how long the teen had been missing. VPD says they were called to the scene around 9 a.m. this morning. Officers found the 16-year-old dead. VPD says the incident is still under investigation.
At this stage, we don't yet know the cause of her death, and we don't know whether or not her death was the result of a crime.
We now know that the North Vancouver teen who was reported missing.
So that's the one. I'll quickly pull up the other one for the 10-year-old. The autistic boy who was found dead with mom having locked her doors inside the house. Excuse me. And then we're going to get into the Camilla update and this missing 5-year-old Johnathan Everett Boley, because, you know, this, when the children are missing, it's not a good, you know, it's high risk. It's clearly high risk. Let me find this Toronto clip. I'm going to have to find it this way. Toronto boy dead. Here we go. It's pretty sad. Here we go. This was yesterday, just came out 15 hours ago.
Toronto, a New Year's Eve family tragedy in this townhouse complex.
She seemed like a really, really nice person.
On Wednesday afternoon, Barrie police were called for a wellness check on the people living in this unit. In a statement, they said when police made entry to the unit, a 10-year-old child was discovered deceased.
You're right, it's Barrie. Sorry.
The child's mother was found inside the residence and was taken to a local hospital where she remains.
Elliot was a sweetie.
I'm sorry, I thought it was Toronto, honey. You're right, it was Barrie. It's Barrie.
According to neighbors, the deceased child was the woman's 10-year-old son named Elliot.
He was autistic. He was a doll. He was funny, just real goofy and a lot of fun. And I made him chocolate chip cookies. That was his favorite.
And was well liked by his neighbors here.
So that was the sad part of it.
They say the boy's father had made regular visits to see his son.
The father came around once a week to pick his boy up, take him out for lunch, take him on fishing trips and stuff like that.
But on New Year's Eve, when no one could reach the family and called police, they discovered the unthinkable.
The door was locked from the inside with a chain.
The mother was a personal support worker. Leading up to what happened,
Hey,
neighbors
Deanna,
say
honey.
there were no signs anything was wrong.
She didn't seem out of the sorts at all. So I don't know. I don't know what could have happened yesterday.
We talked to her every day. She appeared to be just fine. She had gone to church with us at Christmas, and we had no idea whatsoever. You always do the what ifs.
Her next door neighbor knew the mother. Both worked for the same company.
My condolences to the family. It's so sad. I just pray that God give her the grace to carry on.
Police aren't commenting on the mother's medical condition. The Major Crimes Unit is in charge of this investigation.
Major crimes involved. So there we go. Doesn't look like accident, does it, when major crimes is involved? Nice to see you, Deanna, honey. Yeah, Carla, if you came out and came back in, honey, we've clarified that. Thank you to Shannon and Charmaine in the chat, confirming, yeah, thanks, Cindy, that it was not Cody. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Okay, let's get into the Camilla Mendoza, because we covered Camilla Mendoza the other day. They found her body, but they weren't sure it was her. Now it's been shown to be her. Let's listen into this.
So as we know, the body that was found on Tuesday is confirmed to be Camilla Mendoza Olmos. And the 19-year-old is, according to the medical examiner, have to have committed self-harm. I'm not going to say the word here because sometimes it's not liked across these platforms. So I think you guys get the idea. So now we're going to get into what the medical examiner found. We're going to hear from Camilla's family. And then, of course, thankful to the news and this channel as well, because we're going to really focus on thinking about understanding and
hang on,
taking
everybody.
time for your mental health.
I gotta
Check
go
this
get
out.
the dog.
Oh, we turn now to the heartbreaking end of a case that has captivated the community.
This afternoon, the sheriff confirmed the body found yesterday in a field in northwest Bexar County is Camilla Mendoza Olmos. The 19-year-old had been missing since Christmas Eve, and the medical examiner ruling the death a suicide.
KENS 5 reporter Megan Reina is live tonight where the discovery was made. And Megan, this tragedy is highlighting a crisis across the city.
EC's Henry, yes, there is now a small memorial growing at this landscaping company where Camilla's body was discovered. So many people were praying for a different outcome here, but the reality is suicide rates are on the rise across the country, including here in Bexar County. And one mental health expert tells me it's especially important that we provide resources for young adults and teenagers.
In my gut, I felt like we were going to end up where we are now. I was still holding out hope.
For 6 days, that's exactly what family, friends, volunteers, and law enforcement were doing, holding out hope as they searched for 19-year-old Camilla Mendoza Olmos. She had vanished the morning of Christmas Eve. Tuesday afternoon, Camilla was discovered by deputies in a field not far from her home with a gun next to her. The medical examiner revealed she had shot herself.
We had some information that there'd been some suicidal ideations from her in the past, that there was what seemed to be depression issues, I should say.
Suicide is up, across the nation, and suicide is up among young people. 50% of mental illness begin by age 14.
Doug Beach is the executive director with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, Greater San Antonio. He says it's important to know the signs that someone may be suffering from a mental health crisis, whether that's changes in mood, behavior, substance abuse, or isolation.
Just like any other illness or any other health condition, the earlier you get help, the better off the outcomes.
Which is why his organization launched the Warm Line. It's a free pre-crisis line available every day from 8 in the morning to 11 at night.
A lot of times people don't even know why they're feeling the way they're feeling. They just know that they're not feeling well or something's wrong. And that's a good time. That's a good place or time to call the Warm Line.
NAMI also offers mental health education for parents and teens. Recently, they've started partnering up with schools and other nonprofits to reach kids. Beach says all you have to do to access any of their free programs is call.
One of the misconceptions is that people don't want to talk about suicide. Well, young people want to talk about their mental health.
Yeah.
Camilla's family did release a statement earlier today on social media, thanking everyone for their prayers and also asking for respect and privacy as they grieve. Now, if you'd like information on the NAMI's Warm Line, we have that at our website, KENS5.com, as well as the family's full statement. And of course, if you or someone you know is suffering from a mental health crisis, the National Suicide Hotline is 988. Reporting live from Northwest Bexar County, Megan Reina, KENS 5.
Thank you, Megan.
988 is the number. And we'll have that in the description for y'all as well. Let's go ahead and hear from friends and a friend of
writers
Camilla's
here
that talked about her, what led up to the situation, what she saw, and how she's just grateful for Camilla and to have had her as a friend.
One of my last thoughts is, I love you, Camilla. I love you, Cammy. I'll forever love everything about you that you could not. I'll miss you for the rest of my life.
Friends since they were 14 years old. Eva Martinez is now trying to cope with the loss of Camilla Mendoza Olmos. She's holding every memory tight, including how they met.
When we met at a friend's party.
When I go out east to search, I'm going to be bringing Ryder. Hey, Ryder. He's my buddy. Oh, he's so sweet. Okay. It's going to be hard to finish this live with him, I'm telling you. Oh, Ryder. He's a demanding little puppy. We got him when Brianna lived with me, so he is big and he is solid. Can you get off my ears, my headset, please? He is pure weight, like he's solid muscle, man. Josh is super strong. Like Josh is in construction. My son-in-law just brought him, and like he's very hard to hold back. He's pure muscle. He's a very strong dog, and he's very protective of me because he's woof woof. Ryder, woof woof. Woof woof. Giant lab cow. Yes. He's a golden doodle. Holy Hannah. Hi, I missed you. You coming to see Nanny for a few days. Okay, Ryder. Jesus. Okay, we're gonna finish this, Ryder. We're gonna finish this and then we're gonna go for a walk. Okay, let's keep playing it.
We kind of just like got along, started dancing. We became friends like instantaneously.
Martinez says Camilla's inner light instantly drew people to her, and that she was the person friends could reach out to when they needed someone.
Her passion.
They always say it's the strong friend. Check on your strong friends, man. Think about, oh, somebody's good. They're usually the one that's carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders.
I believe was making people feel loved. If you were down, she would meet you where you're at and then bring you up.
Martinez says Camilla was strong and knew how to stand up for herself and her family and friends. They had talked about recent disappointments, but thought they were holding to the belief the future would bring better things.
So I would relate to her, you know, like it's good to have a friend that's relatable, going through similar things, school, boyfriends, all that.
Yes.
And so when we would speak about that, it was kind of just like I thought it was a common understanding that we were going to get through it together, like we always do.
Martinez says Camilla's strength to protect others may have hidden signals that she needed a little more help.
It's really hard to tell whether it's you're just like the rest of us, but you're going to push through it, or you're really going to do something, because she's never expressed any thoughts like that to me at all.
She last spoke with Camilla a couple of weeks ago to invite her to a New Year's Eve celebration. She says it never entered her mind that her friend would not see the new year with her.
Eternally grateful to have crossed lifetimes with you, and being able to be called your friend is an honor. I will miss you longer than I will have known you, Cammy. Wait patiently for us, and may your soul rest in peace.
Martinez and other friends are reflecting and committing to be a little extra when it comes to connecting with family and friends, showing up at the house, calling until you get the person on the phone, or hanging out a little longer.
It's super hard for kids my age to reach out and to ask for help, because they're like, ooh, I don't think they like me anymore. We haven't talked in X amount of months. And it's like, just reach out, man. We're all human. I think that's what I'm going to take moving forward.
Bashara Pope.
It's a really sad story. It's a really sad story. You know, that little girl or young woman, hi, baby. You think he'd be good protection if we go looking for Jack and Lily? Do you think he'd be good? Hey, he's a big lover. He's a big lover. I don't know how much he'd protect me. Buddy. Okay, we're going to go into this little update for Johnathan Everett. Very sad, very sad. They're still looking for him. We're going to listen to just a couple of clips of that, and then I'll call it a day and take Ryder out, and I'll be back tomorrow, assuming Ryder lets me. Assuming Ryder lets me. Okay, let's look at this. There he is. He's going to settle in now. So this is the newest update. We started covering, well, I didn't cover it live. I did a video yesterday. Some of the articles say 4-year-old, but the sheriff has come out and said he's 5-year-old Johnathan Everett Boley. And it's incredibly concerning. We're going to listen to some clips here because the father was the last to see him, has a criminal record, has since been arrested, has a pretty sketchy past. So we're going to listen to this a little bit, and hopefully they find him sooner than later, because he's been missing. Was supposed to be returned to mom from a visit with dad. Dad only gets like 5 or 6 days a year. Was supposed to be returned to dad yesterday. Ex-military. Yeah, you know, Charmaine has a big, beautiful boy too. Okay, yeah. So let's listen into this.
You guys ready? Anybody got any questions in particular?
Yeah, ex-military, bombs off and explosives and crazy.
Sheriff, to start off, can you kind of just give us the facts of this again and just kind of summarize this for everyone?
You can lay down. You can lay down. You can lay down. I love you.
So just to summarize again, you know, going back to yesterday, we've been searching for a missing 5-year-old since 1 o'clock, roughly, since yesterday. We've had air support in the air. We've had drones in the air. We've had volunteers. We've had canines. We've had canines on the ground. We're fixing to put some more canines on the ground. As you can hear now, the helicopter's still in the sky. We're still looking. We suspended the search a little earlier because volunteers were flagging potential things that they thought might be explosives. We have identified across the street that none of those items flagged were explosives. Okay. So we're going to resume searching back across that side of the property in the morning. But for tonight, we're going to keep everything contained to the right side of the property and continue to search. The house has been cleared. Now our investigators are inside trying to collect any additional evidence to maybe help us find this child. Like I said, again, I'm very pleased with the community outreach and community support. Just today long, since 7 o'clock, we had 126 first responders that came out to help try to find this child. We had 161 volunteers that came out to help search. We covered over 500 acres today, which is a lot of ground to cover in a short amount of time that we got done today. We're going to regroup again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I know rain's supposed to be moving in, and we'll have to, play it by ear and see how the weather goes throughout the day.
Sheriff, I think one of the big questions moving forward is what does this search look like? You mentioned today that there's been no indication that the child's in the woods. Does that mean you're expanding your search to other areas of kind of Walker County, or are you guys looking anywhere else?
Right now, the
Missing
FBI
from
is working on
Alabama.
some things, and they're working on collecting data and information that may expand our search later on. But for right now, we don't have any reason to believe it is expanded outside of where we're at now. We're just continuing to just methodically search this area
Jasper,
here.
Alabama.
Do you know what those devices were, if they were not explosives that were found?
They just said they was not explosives. They didn't go into any details.
So he's missing from Jasper, Alabama. In yesterday's video, just to recap for those of you coming in, they had, Alabama, 5-year-old little boy. It's a very concerning case. I did a video on it yesterday because there's some real concerns. They've arrested dad. Dad has a pretty bad past, which we're going to hear about in a second. They've arrested dad, who's not appearing to cooperate. Dad has rumored, which we'll hear in a second, to have 6 different children and has custody from none of them. Has custody for none of them, rather. Has a criminal history, a military history, and had custody for him for 5 days a year. That's right. And was supposed to return them to mom New Year's Eve, December 31st, and didn't. And the dog is also missing with the child. They're looking, it's possible that they just got lost in the bushes behind their home, the dog and Johnathan, this 5-year-old. However, they have been searching and they can't find him. Flew in, brought his drone. Yeah. So the explosive piece of this is yesterday, Ewend, they had to tell the searchers to stop searching because explosives were going off behind the house in the forest where they were trying to search. Yes, and he has an older brother that is rumored to have said that he saw them last at the edge of the forest. Dad's ex-military and was setting bombs off and has been setting bombs off for days. Dolly's with his drone right now. Is he? Oh, fantastic. Okay, Dolly is there with his drone right now. Okay, fantastic. That's good to know. Thank you. Dolly's really good. That's what I want to do some days, get out and search more, So it's concerning because of his history, because the neighbor says that the dog that's missing with little 5-year-old Johnathan is always being seen. We'll go there. There's a presser at noon. Okay, we'll go look at Dolly in a second if you bear with me. They're saying that, I was just going to ask if it was Dolly.
They're saying that the neighbor's camera picks the dog up every day. The dog that's missing with his, this 5-year-old, the 5-year-old's dog, family dog, is seen on his camera every day in the bush on his camera. And the neighbor said the dog has not been picked up since December 26th. Presumably about the time Dad had custody and a visitation for 5 days, returning him on the 31st, 5 days later, and he didn't return him. Now, whether they just vanished into the bush or given Dad's past, it's a little concerning. We need Dolly in Nova Scotia. Yeah. Dolly doesn't have his passport, he said. So let's just listen to this and then we'll go see if we can pick up Dolly. But I want to play a really short clip first about Dad, okay? Because Dad's a concern.
Determine that those devices that were found are not explosive. Will volunteer people be able to come out
Tomorrow at 7. Tomorrow 7. So the same thing we did today, we'll repeat it again tomorrow at 7. People can come in, they can check in, and we'll start this process again tomorrow for volunteers.
Overhead? Are y'all still doing drones and stuff tonight? Or is that
Yeah, so the helicopter's running, their FLIR and thermal from the sky. They'll be running that through the night. So whenever the helicopter goes and refuels, we'll put the drones back up in the air. So we'll constantly try throughout the night to have air support in the air. The FBI's got some fresh K9s here that are about to do some searching on the property, the main property. And like I said, we'll be busy all night. We'll be working all night until we find the child. And we're doing the best that we can with the situation and the information that we have.
With having to suspend the on-the-ground search for a large part of the day today, how do you think that that's impacted the investigation?
It hinders it, but I will say this: I am proud of the volunteers because they listened this morning. We told the volunteers early this morning, if you see something suspicious, flag it, make sure that we're contacted, make sure that we know so we can verify it. The challenge is we only have so many people that are experienced with dealing with bombs and explosives, and they were tied up at the house, so they couldn't just leave the house to come check out those 8 devices. So once the house was able to be secured, they were able to move to those locations and verify that they were not explosives.
And then just talk about how essential time is. It's getting cold out tonight, rain moving in tomorrow. Talk about how this concept of time is, going to affect this.
Timing is critical, and like I said, I know a lot of people are wanting to volunteer, and I don't want people getting burnt out because I want to be able to stay fresh. I want to be able to continue to search. Like I said, that's why it's critical. That's why we're going to be out 24/7 until we hopefully find this child.
Sheriff, do you believe he's in the woods here somewhere?
I'm going to believe the story that we have now until something else presents itself. Based off of what we were told earlier about the 6-year-old brother being with with his 5-year-old brother and the dog, and that's the story that we have, and that's the story that we're going with. Like I said, we've expanded our search outside of that, and until something else changes that dynamic, we're going to continue to search this area.
Can you talk a little bit about tomorrow with the volunteers and the weather rolling in? Do you have any tips that you think volunteers should have?
Obviously, if you're going to come out tomorrow at 7, make sure you're prepared for the weather. I mean, I've told everybody here that we're going to continue to search, whether it's raining, if it's pouring down, we're going to continue to search.
And can we expect another update from you before 7 a.m. or is this the last one for the evening?
This may be the last one for the evening, unless something drastic changes.
I'm muted. Sorry. Let's go to this next clip. Really quick one, and then we'll go to Dolly and see if we can pick up Dolly.
Search efforts are picking back up today for missing Johnathan Everett Boley out of Jasper, Alabama. Johnathan's aunt just took to social media to provide corrections about what is going around about Johnathan that is not accurate. The first thing she said is that he is actually 4 years old and that his birthday is in April. He'll be turning 5 then. She also said that contrary to the flyer that says that he has blue eyes, he actually has brown. We know that Jameson, Johnathan's father, only has has 5 days of visitation with him per year. So is that causing him to not know intricate details about his own son? There are rumors that Jonathan's grandfather was the one to report him missing, not his father. So maybe that's where some of the misinformation came from. That hasn't been confirmed at this moment, though. Jonathan's aunt also said that everyone from Jonathan's mother's side has been cooperating with authorities fully. I'm wondering if that is implying that maybe people from Jonathan's father's side may not be. Now, we know that Jamison, Jonathan's father, was taken into custody after explosives were found inside his residence and on his property. Authorities did confirm that there were potential explosives in neighboring properties that were actually cleared by the FBI late last night. Those were not actually explosives. So last night, authorities were able to do a lot more searching as they were able to clear certain areas that they were not able to search prior. Now, there's a lot of people that have been side-eyeing Jamison, Jonathan's father. One, why did it take over an hour and a half from when he was last seen to get him reported missing? Like, what were you doing? Why were the children left unsupervised for that amount of time? There's also been people who know Jamison personally from the past and are talking about how he is not a great person. One person in particular said that he's always been into explosives for the past 5 years at least. She said that she saw him set them off before, and they are extremely loud to the point where they can shake a house. She also said that she's never heard a single good thing about Jamison and that she's praying for Jonathan to be found safe, but she has a terrible feeling in her gut because Jamison is his father and was the one that was watching him at the time that he went missing. Another person said that Jamison has 6 children altogether and he doesn't have custody of any of them. And there's also protective orders that have been placed against Jamison in the past that have recently come to light. There was one filed against him on October 13th, 2018, and another one on December 22nd, 2021. The most recent one filed against Jamison by Jonathan's mother. She said that Jamison put his hands around her throat, held her down, threw her into the kitchen, and choked her until she couldn't breathe while holding her arms down. She said, quote, "I'm worried he will do all the above again to me or our children or potentially kill one of us." So that's definitely a bit of a red flag, especially when authorities are saying that nothing that they've uncovered thus far indicates that Jonathan is in the wooded area by his dad's residence. I think we should all remain optimistic, though. Hopefully today's search efforts do bring about answers and they are able to find Jonathan today. As updates come out, you can find them here on my page, so make sure that you guys are following me.
Okay, let's go watch Dolly for a minute. I don't want to hijack Dolly's live. So we'll watch it for a minute, but then you can go check him out yourself if you want. Let's watch him for a few minutes.
Okay, that's the K blocked off. So give me 1 second.
I
I'm just
know,
trying to set
honey.
up something to hold my phone. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold my phone like that. Okay, I'll give y'all a little look around in just a second. I guess I could hold it like this.
We're just going to watch a few minutes of Dolly, and then I'll send you over
Hold on.
there. It's his sound, not mine. His sound, not mine, muted.
But as of now, I don't think they have found anything. So we're gonna take a little walk down just to get up.
We're just going to watch a very few minutes of Dolly Vision, who's out in Alabama, Jasper, Alabama, helping search for 5-year-old. I guess it's now confirmed 4. The police said 5. 4-year-old missing Johnathan Everett Boley. He hasn't been seen since December 31st when dad was supposed to return him to mom. He had 5 days visitation, and dad has a criminal past, has been setting explosives off in the background, has a military past in the back of the woods. And so he's been arrested for that, not cooperating.
And given his past, is a bit of a concern that he may be, either he's in the bush, wandered off and got lost, or, regrettably, maybe something more nefarious happened. So we're not sure. But that's the scenario that the police are looking at right now, is looking for him in the back. And Dolly Vision, another channel, we're just going to cover a few minutes here because I don't want to hijack his live, is there searching. So I'm just going to watch this for a few minutes. And then we're going to call it a wrap till tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Eye on things down here, because I believe this is where he lives, is down here. And this is their headquarters. Thank you, boy mom.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. So they got roadblocks set up too.
I know. I love it. I love it.
See the roadblocks? They're checking everything in and out down here. So the police are heavy out here today. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened right there. I don't know. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened right there. I don't know what happened. But they're stopping everybody coming in and coming out. But media is definitely down here. They're taking off somewhere pretty quick. Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'm going to show Dolly here.
So, like I said, we're out here live on the scene where little Johnathan went missing. Now, they do have a lot of the area blocked off because it's alleged that the guy had some things that probably wasn't pretty good in his house. The father arrested on unrelated charges, but as you can see, they're stopping everybody coming in, going out.
Oh,
and they have search teams all up and down this main road here. And I guess they're checking vehicles just in case, somebody may have picked them up or grabbed them. I mean, we don't know. The last report was his little brother seen him crossing a fence line and he's gone. He vanished. He just completely vanished. And they've been searching for him for the last 2 days. And so far, nothing. They've been flying helicopters and drones over for the last 2 days, thermal imaging, and haven't ran across anything. Okay.
Okay, I don't want to hijack Dolly's live. I've got Ryder here. I'm looking for the press conference. Can anybody help me find it? Because I'm looking for it. News. Okay, hang on. The dog's also missing, by the way. I'm just looking for the link for the presser. It's on Dolly's live. I know, but I don't want to hijack his live. Okay. Let me see if it's there now. Let me just go forward. Yeah, okay, let's watch.
It's really low, y'all. 4. Let me try JLRs.
Some information that I want to give about Johnathan. Johnathan was last seen on December 31st, around 11:30 a.m. To the 7,000 block of Highway 195. Johnathan is 4 years old. He has blonde hair, blue eyes. He's 4 foot tall. He weighs 50 pounds. He goes by Johnathan. Johnathan was wearing a yellow Mickey Mouse shirt, black pants, Paw Patrol shoes. As you can look behind me on the screen, we have pictures for the community of Johnathan. We have pictures of the dog Buck, which is a lab mix retriever. We have pictures of the Paw Patrol shoes that was provided by his mother that he was wearing at the time he found the dog.
Yeah, it's the same in JLRs too, y'all. So that's why I didn't change it.
He and his brother were very adventurous. I guess the best way to describe them is just boys being boys. They're just outdoors, kids, all boys. But it's, Johnathan and his brother were out playing. Johnathan's brother said he identified the last place that he saw Johnathan. But now we're very hopeful with the community support that we have. I need the community to be out and to be vigilant. Just because you may not necessarily be in this immediate area, I need everybody. And Walker County, check your ring cameras, check your deer cameras.
I know, Krista, but I can't do anything about it. You're gonna have to put your ear to it because
Look under your car, look under your car portion, your garages, your houses. Johnathan is 4 foot tall, so it's very small. You get in tight places. You got tunnels, caves on your property. Get out and look and make sure that this is not overlooking. Make sure that we're doing our due diligence.
get out and look. He's saying.
Now, I know that the father is a situation that's been going on. That's a secondary to you. My concern is finding and bringing home. This is just a plea. It's just your local sheriff is to help us bring him home. Especially with him having a canine.
Canine.
Very known that children that wander off with a canine go a lot further than we anticipate or we think. There's been numerous stories over the years where kids have wandered off into the woods with a canine. Very hopeful that Buck and Johnathan are still together. I'm very hopeful.
You think you'd hear the dog barking?
I'm hoping that Buck and Johnathan are still together. They're able to stay warm. But I just can't stress enough about just how important that it is to get Johnathan. We've had a great support from the community, law enforcement. Yesterday, just alone, we covered about 500 acres. This was a lot of ground we covered yesterday. We had 161 volunteers, 126 law enforcement personnel. We got over 100 volunteers today. And that speaks volumes to not just Walker County, but the state of Alabama. Anybody that's willing to help, I just need you to do your due diligence around your home. You got ring cameras checked. You got deer cameras. You have tree.
He's just pleading to the public. You've got ring cameras to check. It's the same thing in JLRs. It's the same thing that happened in the news conference, the other day. It's just the way that they're recording the conference. There's nothing that I can do about it. It's the same everywhere. We're just going to listen to a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to send you over to Dolly's if you want to continue watching him live as he searches for this 4-year-old Johnathan. My apologies. The first report came out, said he was 4. Then the sheriff here said, no, he's 5. Now we're hearing he's 4. So.
Also look for
I can't click on it, Donna. You'd have to message it to me.
It's you know, as a father, it's one of those situations that I'm not big situation. So I want you to pray for this family, just like as me as a father, I'm going through this situation. Going through any situation where I want community support. I want community behind me, and this community has rallied behind this family and this mother that have rallied behind them. And the family, the dad, has trying to do everything we can to help provide information for us to do that.
Sure. Yesterday you had mentioned that there was no indication of the size of the woods. Is that any update you give us on that? Has there been any found in the woods by searchers?
There's no new additional information.
Can you talk about the resources that you're using today? You're still using helicopters, air, everything that was implemented the past few days?
We're still using the same resources and ground searches.
How about the search area? Has that expanded?
We are looking into expanding the search area. Like I said, it's him being with the Buck, John and Buck being together. He's following that. If he's following Buck, then there's no telling how to go. So just look at stories across the state of the nation where children wander off, especially with companion, canines. They wander off 2, 3 miles, 4 miles. So we still have a lot of ground to cover, and that's why I want to stress to people in the county, just because you're not impacted in this small area doesn't mean that you couldn't be on your property.
Any reason to think you might be outside the home?
What's his hair? I've seen photos where his hair down and his hair bunged up. Do we know what conditions there was in?
I don't know the conditions of this area whenever he wandered off. He does have long hair, as you can see in the picture.
He says the age 4 or 5?
He is age 4. That is age 4. Father.
Sure. We saw that there was a hazmat team found here that looked like they were heading down towards the father's house. Is there any reason for that, or were they just here as additional resources?
Okay, let's try this one. Let's see if this one's better. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, it's better.
Paw Patrol shoes, as you can look behind me on the screen.
Thank you,
We have
Donna.
pictures for the community of John. We have pictures of the dog Buck, which is a lab mix retriever. We have pictures of the Paw Patrol shoes that was provided by his mother that he was wearing at the time he wandered off. It's just a few little things about John. He loves outdoors.
Thank you, honey.
Him and his brother were very adventurous.
No
I guess
worries.
the way to
Good
describe
luck.
them is
Prayers.
just boys being boys. They just outdoors kids, all boys. But it's John and his brother were out playing. John's brother said and identified the last place that he saw John and Buck. Now we're very hopeful with the community support that we have. I need the community to be out. I need you to be vigilant. Just because you may not necessarily be in this immediate area, I need everybody, and I mean everybody, in Walker County. Check your ring cameras, check your deer cameras, check your tree stands, check your deer houses, check your deer cameras. Look under your carports, your garages, your houses. John is 4 foot tall, so he's very small. He can get in tight places. You got tunnels, caves on your property. Get out and look and make sure that we're just not overlooking, and make sure that we're doing our due diligence to find this child. Now I know that the father and the situation that's been going on that's secondary to me. My concern is finding and bringing home John. And this is just a plea as just your local sheriff is to help us bring him home. Especially with him having a canine. It's very known that children that wander off in the woods with canine go a lot further than we anticipate or we think. There's been numerous stories over the years where kids have wandered off into the woods with their canine. I'm very hopeful that with Buck, if Buck and John are still together, I'm very hopeful that they're together. I know we've experienced some cold nights, but I'm hoping that with Buck and John, if they're still together, that they're able to stay warm. But I just can't stress enough about just how important that it is to get John home. it's, we've had a great support from the community, law enforcement. Yesterday, just alone, we covered about 500 acres, which was a lot of ground to cover yesterday. We had 161 volunteers, 126 law enforcement personnel, got over 100 volunteers today. And that speaks volumes to not just Walker County, but the state of Alabama, and anybody that's willing to help. I just need you to do your due diligence around your home. Just if you got ring cameras, check them. If you got deer cameras, if you have tree houses or blinds or tree stands on your property, check them, because he can fit in tight places. He's going to be a small child. He can fit in tight places. Also look for the dog. Like I said, very adventurous. Look in tunnels. Look in any kind of caves. Look if you've got a pond on your property, search your pond. Okay. I want to make sure that we're doing everything to get him home. And I want to say first, I want to say that the media, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate that you care to help get this message out and help us get John home. It's as a father, it's one of those situations that, I've not been in the situation. So, I want people to pray for this family, just like me as a father. If I was going through this situation, going through any situation, really, I'd want the community support. I'd want the community behind me, and this community has rallied behind this family and this mother to help try to find John. And the family, including the dad, has helped trying to do everything they can to help provide information for us to do that.
Sure. Yesterday you had mentioned that there was no indication found no signs in the woods. Any update you give us on that? Has there been anything found in the woods?
There's no new additional information on that.
Can you talk about the resources they're using today? You're still using helicopters, gear, everything that was implemented the past few days?
We're still using the same resources and ground searches and things of that nature. Yes.
How about the search area? Has that expanded?
We are looking to expanding the search area, and like I said, it's with him being with Buck, with John and Buck being together, and if he's following Buck, then there's no telling how far they could have traveled. Like I said, if you just look at stories across the state and the nation, where children wander off, especially with companion, canines, they wander off 2, 3 miles, 4 miles. So we still have a lot of ground to cover, and that's why I want to stress to people in the county is just because you're not impacted in this small area doesn't mean that he couldn't be on your property. Not at this time. I don't know the condition of his hair whenever he wandered off, but he does have long hair, as you can see in the picture. He is age 4. That is confirmed. Age 4. The father initially told us that he was 5.
Sure. We saw that there was a hazmat team propelling here that looked like they were heading down towards the father's house. Is there any reason for that, or were they just here?
Father told him he was
Additional resources that
5.
I'm aware of at this time.
Father doesn't know much about his son, eh?
I can't speak on what all the investigators are updating him on. That's going to be a conversation that's taking place between investigations and the father.
Yeah, 4.
Right now we're
trees.
keeping it to law enforcement or approved search members. I haven't seen what the DA officially, whenever they had the hearing this morning, what additional charges they may have added. Yes. They're working on that process. They dived some of the ponds yesterday, and they're working today. I don't know how thick the material is that he was wearing. No, I do not.
Sheriff, are you still looking for volunteers?
Like I said, I'm never going to turn away anybody that wants to help. But one of the things that to understand is that, we're not sending just a random volunteer that comes in out here to create additional hazards. Okay. So we're putting people who have experience in search and rescue. We're assigning volunteers with those individuals. Has been times where we have more volunteers than we have people with experience in search and rescue that we can put them with. So it creates people having to stay. We're keeping it to, if people want to help in the kitchen, if they want to help provide food, if they want to help provide resources like that, the doors are open. The doors are open for volunteers, but I can't promise you that you're just going to walk in here and we're going to hand you a vest or you're going to get a vest and you're just going to go out to the woods. We may need you 5 hours from now. We may need you tomorrow. Like I said yesterday, if this thing drags out days, I don't need people getting burned out over time. We need people that are going to stay committed to this search until we bring John home.
Sure. Yesterday at your last news briefing, you mentioned that the FBI was following up on additional leads. Can you tell us how involved is the FBI in this investigation and have those leads that they were following?
Yeah, I can't speak on what leads that they have at this time, but they are very involved, being very helpful, along with SBI, and we've got agencies from all over the state of Alabama here helping today. I don't know until they get done of how much they're able to get in the search area. Sir? Not that I'm aware of. But that's all the questions that I'm going to take. So, like I said, if we'll update you maybe later this afternoon if we get any more additional information. Thank you, guys.
Well, there you go. Well, okay. That's the end of the update. So let's hope and pray that by tomorrow's 11 a.m. live, they have found him. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. And we will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. doing any updates on the cases we're following. Where are these children? I know, honey. I know. I'm just a little concerned given Dad's history. They don't seem to be leaning that way because his older brother said he saw them head towards the forest, but they have no evidence. They're picking up no trace. I mean, how many times do we hear this? No trace. Yeah, Krista, thank you, sweetie. Okay, everybody, go have a wonderful day. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Prayers for 4-year-old Johnathan Everett, everybody. Please pray that they find him today. Go watch Dolly. I'm going to put the link here, right here. Grab it for Dolly. Go join Dolly in the live. He's out there searching. Kudos to him. Good on Dolly. Let's hope. He's 4 years old, not 5. That was the sheriff had said. The dad said he was 5. So the sheriff came out and said there's reports he's 4. No, he's 5. Now they're saying no, it's 4. Dad thought he was 5. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Yes, I'm going to get some rest. This is why we have all these cases. Oh, yeah, it's got to be happening for sure. These are just the ones we hear about, Krista. What about the ones we don't hear about, right? Okay, everybody, go have a good day. I'm going to go take Ryder for a walk, have some rest and some write and some research for tomorrow, okay? Love and light, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Couldn't do this without you, and appreciate you. See you tomorrow morning. Love and light. Saturday. Tomorrow's Saturday. See you tomorrow morning.